Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Hi, race fans, welcome. And tonight is the night we crown a champ. Well, that's right, the Five Kings Motorsports Crooked Line Racing Tour Mods. It has been a good and exciting season. Now, tonight we got some special things that we're going to bring up. One being a little bit longer of a race. Not too much, but there's some strategy things that we're going to talk about. Two is double points. And right now, I'm going to tell you, Thomas Axiom, he has to start in the back. That's just by default. And Tanner, you know and I know why, because he won last week.
Right.
Mathematically, he's going to have to finish in the top 16 to win that championship. So that's something to keep an eye on. And then basically Jason Raymond, who is starting second, pretty much has to win the race tonight. And I know he's going to go all out, but it's been a heck of a season so far, and we got a good track here tonight, too.
This is going to be a draft-heavy track tonight, too. So I expect to see teammates kind of work with each other. I expect tempers to flare, fireworks to fire off. I mean, last season, coming into the last double points night of last season, we thought Zach Murphy had it locked up. And so for viewers that don't know, when this race is over, Josh is going to scurry about really quick. He's going to figure up the points, get the drop weeks calculated. It takes him about 3 minutes, and we're going to bring him over to the broadcast booth, and he'll announce who our champion is tonight. Mathematically, Jason Raymond does have a chance. He's firing off second, P2, and we know Axum starting in the back.
Yeah.
But it's good. I mean, Axum has to have the worst race of his season, and he's had a great season thus far. So it's going to be an uphill battle for Jason Raymond. But I talked to Jason earlier, and I want to speak to our first and second place in points before we do grid up here. But speaking with Jason earlier, he told me that really he's not even worried about the points. He just cares about trying to come out here and get his first win in Crooked Line. So I know that's what Raymond's looking for tonight.
Absolutely, and I'm with you on that one. It's going to be interesting to see what transpires here. We've seen a lot of great and exciting things, like I said, but let's bring up the poll winner here tonight, Aiden Young. Get a word with him.
Let me get Aiden Young. I didn't see him in our Discord. Aiden Young, there he is. Mr. Aiden Young, you put it on the poll spot here tonight at New Hampshire double points. You got a copy?
I got you.
Aiden, we've spoke quite a bit off stream and messages over Facebook. I know you're a dirt guy. You're coming out here and you're showing that dirt guys can wheel these asphalt cars as well. Put it on the poll. How you like your chance? A little bit different style race.
Yeah, I think I can probably get it done. We'll just do what everyone else does and hopefully be up front at the end.
Well, I think your strategy's already paying off because you're P1. You're leading a long field around here. You'll be in control and command of the field, so that's never a bad way to start this race out, that's for sure. How are you expecting tonight to go as far as tires and whatnot? Because tires have not been too important in this series all season long, but this is a different style track, a little bit longer race.
I think this is probably going to be the most important track just because everyone's sliding them off the corner, and it's just a tricky track to get around.
Right on, buddy, right on. Well, Aiden, I got to cut it short, buddy. We're almost out of time. I need to talk to the top two in points. Aiden, congratulations on the pole, and with that type of speed, I'm sure we'll be talking to you at the end, buddy. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Jason Raymond, you're currently sitting P2 in the points, 29 points behind Thomas Axiom. What's your outlook going into a race like tonight?
Honestly, I'm just gonna focus on going for the win. I haven't gotten a win in the Crooked Line Racing Series yet, so that's my main priority. I know a championship's mathematically possible, but I don't know. I got to get a win either way. So to get the championship, I have to win. So that's the focus.
There you have it. You know you're starting P2 on the grid. You got Thomas Axiom. He'll be starting in the back, Axiom. So that's going to be a tough battle for him, but he's done it 6 other times this season, has looked strong. So it's going to take a great night by you and a not so great night. We'll be here at the end, maybe talking to you. Good luck, Jason.
Thank you.
And then we have the man of the hour, Mr. Thomas Axiom. You got a copy, brother?
Yes, sir.
6 wins, buddy. I mean, that's pretty unprecedented territory. So Jason Day won 5 last season in this series. Ended up coming away with the championship. A little bit different scenario coming into the last race. What's your outlook tonight? Are you going all out, or are you going to try to think big picture?
I see. I got 2 extra set of tires at 150 laps. I think it's going to come down to a tire game. I didn't do many practice laps. Took a power nap at 8 o'clock. I do see that the 2 sets of tires is going to be huge. So I see some fast guys in the back here. Going to just work with them, make our way to the front, take our time, 150 laps, be there at the end.
Thomas, I see you are going to the grid, but unless I made a mistake setting the session up, you should only have the set you start on setting the pits. Is that correct?
Oh yeah. That is right.
Okay, you had my heart skipped a beat right then, Thomas. I can't lie. We'll get you back. Let you go out to your car, go to the grid, Thomas. Starting in the rear of the pack. We'll be here at the end. I'm sure we might just be talking to you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Good luck, Thomas. Man, oh man, Joe, he scared me when he said he had. I was thinking I made a mistake, and it happens. I mean, it happens. We've done worse stuff before, but man, oh man, I'm excited for tonight. I really am. This is a completely different style of track what we've ever went to thus far this season.
And you brought up, one point, and right there was, and I just mentioned a little bit, a little longer of a race, about 25 more laps that these guys are not used to seeing. And something we've seen all season long. They don't really pit. If they don't have to pit, that is. Tonight, they're pretty much going to be forced to. And that's going to bring about a different little bit of strategy. Because one thing we've seen with these cars, it is very hard to pass and very hard to come through the field. Unless you have some help, obviously. But unlike last night, where I saw, Coffee really coming through the field, what I've always said before, which technically should be the way you do with new tires. We've just not seen it. We've seen guys come through the field, but they've had help. Like I say, pick off a couple cars here, caution comes out, a couple cars here, caution comes out. But by the time they get up to the front, guess what? Their tires fall off, and if they're not out front, they're just kind of stuck.
You're exactly right. Tonight, I think will be different. So I don't think. Normally, this season, we've seen clusters, and now we still will see clusters, but I think the draft is going to keep a lot of these drivers right on top of each other. So I think, speaking to your point about picking off a bunch of drivers, if you are on fresh tires, I think it will be easier, but still a challenge because everybody does have a draft. But if you're able to play your cards right, play the pit strategy right, I think you'll be sick golden after 150 laps here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
Absolutely. So here we go. That green flag action here tonight, folks. Season finale. We're crowning the champ here tonight. It's going to be a good one. Leading out front, you got Jason there who is going to try everything he can to put that thing in victory lane and hopefully steal one out. He's hoping. We don't want to see any driver get caught up into trouble, but Thomas back there in 16th. One car out, and I talked with it was Joshua before the race, and the mathematical is so close as we go green flag here. It is so close that there's only one car difference back there that would knock Thomas out, basically. So, man, that's just a really small or large room of error. Let me say it that way. Usually small, but
You're exactly right.
Jason's got to do everything he can here tonight. Look out. He already got out to the lead early.
That outside line fired off good for him right there. I don't know if he just timed the start that good or what really happened. That's going to allow him to go take the lead dog spot. As you see them, they're racing with the 9 right there. They're falling in line, just going to start clicking some laps off here. And that's what you're going to have to do, a long race. Yes, it's only 25 laps more than what we normally would do in this series. But this is a way bigger style track. We got a car in the grass in the back. I'm not sure who that was, Joe.
Tony Quadros.
And he saved it, though. I heard him over the iRacing comms. I can't believe I saved that. So kudos to Tony Quadros on saving that machine.
Nice. There we go. Like I said, hey, definitely saving it like you said. Pushing it back in a little bit here. But meanwhile, Jason's out front. Hayden there, in second. Coffee up to third. Got Kilroy. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right, good deal. Kill.
Yeah,
go.
Kilrow,
yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Is it Kilrow?
Yep. Kilrow, yep.
Kilrow.
I mess it up at least twice a race.
Terrible. But Bogo hanging on pretty good in fifth. Casey there in sixth. Billy Abraham, the 7th, Carpenter there in 8th, got Zach Murphy in 9th, and Axiom already up to 10th. So he's doing what he needs to do. You know, is he looking to win this thing or just maintaining the back?
You remember what he said his very first night he got interviewed in here? Remember what he said, Joe? Said he was in straight for dubs, didn't care about anything else. So, but then he kind of backpedaled that next week and said he wanted he wanted points. So, I mean, you just never know. Thank you, Emily Jane, for that. By the way, my beautiful fiance is probably some Excedrin. Joe, I'm got a migraine here tonight, trying to call this action here. We're 5 laps in here at New Hampshire. I think this is going to be a testament right here. It's going to be what drivers can remain patient, and like I said, you want to find a teammate or somebody that's a friendly on the track to kind of work with them and try to use that draft to your advantage.
Well, you got Coffee right now all over the back end of Raymond, and I know Raymond doesn't want to see that. A little bit bigger track than what they're used to here. It looks like they've got a lot more room. We'll see if it's more of a 1 groove, 2 groove. Maybe some passing opportunities. You got a kind of a cluster of 4 machines here with Raymond, Coffee, Young, Kilrow up there at the top. Coffee's trying to take that bottom side.
He had the moves last night, ended up having a little bit of a bonehead move late in the race and took us all out, but he was trying, and that's what, when I spoke to him after, I was like, was I mad at you at the time? Of course, I'm a race car driver, but was you trying everything you could? Yes, he was, and I mean, just ultimately stepped over a little bit, and it cost him, but you see right now, he is hounding that 44 machine of Jason Raymond, and Joe, I'll be surprised here. I did not expect to see these type of clusters. I figured everybody would, basically like super speedway racing in NASCAR, I figured they would stay right on top of each other.
Well, you got the 4 cars who kind of spread out away from this pack here, and they're out here battling out pretty good. That's around about the 5th on back spot, as now they're side by side. So maybe this is going to be one of these tracks where, you know, they can get a lot of, you know, 2x2 groove going. A lot of the tracks we see have just been kind of one groove style short track racing.
And you touched on Axel, worked his way up to 10th, but kind of finding himself in a box now. Those drivers in front of him, they're all about the same pace right now, not able to step underneath or above, and just basically in a box. Can't go nowhere right now besides just ride.
These top 4 up here battling. You see Aiden just got around Coffee. I think Coffee tried to go in Raymond, and that's the danger. You step out of line, you try to pass the car in front of you, next thing you know, you open the door up for the guy behind you, especially when they're this close on top of each other. I mean, one little mistake, and boom. One thing I'm seeing right now is everybody's kind of solid. The track looks really smooth.
It does. It looks really good.
Racing hard back in the back, ain't they?
Yes, they are. So the setup these guys have tonight, it's a little bit on the looser side, Mark, but I mean, it has to be this track right here. It's such a fast track for these style cars. If you ever seen these cars in real life here, it's actually amazing. They had to put a restrictor plate on them because they get going too fast at a track like this.
Well, this track is it's a mile track, ain't it?
Right. It's a.
This track actually, I think this one and Dover. Obviously, Dover's a mile track also.
Yep.
I look at those tracks, and this track just does not look. I don't know. It looks a little bit. It looks different than what Dover is, even though they're the same size.
Right. I don't classify this or Dover as a short track, and now some people go like it's a mile or under. It's a short track, but in my mind, I mean, we've been to some of the shortest of short tracks this week, and we actually see Axel pick off 2 of them right then. So that's a driver to watch.
He's in the pits.
Machine. Is he? Well, I saw a little bit of smoke right there, Joe.
See what? Go back and see maybe.
And now I know for a fact they cannot make it on fuel tonight too, but that's not what he's doing right now. It's way too early for that. Had to have some type of mistake.
Going back on replay here, see if we can't catch
right.
it. But, and don't worry, I want to hit on what you just said there a minute. I've had this conversation a million times, and I get to where it's like, I don't argue, because to me, a mile and under is short track. If you look it up, oh, there it is.
Wow. Oh, yeah, that's where the smoke came from.
Oh, he tried. But why would he come into pits this early? That's interesting.
I think he just kind of wrecked down there, and then
Yeah.
instead of just pulling up, just went down. Did he go a
Yeah.
lap down, Joe?
Yes. Doesn't show him a lap down. I think he stayed. No, he made. No, he didn't go into pit, so he just went through pit road. So he never made a pit stop.
So you look at. So we're opposite in this effect.
Yeah,
You look at New Hampshire as a short track, correct?
I look at it because I just basically rounded up everything a mile there is short track,
Right,
mile and a
right.
half.
And that's really the way
You
it
know,
is. I mean,
whatever.
anything under a mile is a short track. You know, a mile and under.
If you look it up, I've had this conversation on the NASCAR side of things when we talk about. If you look it up, they classify 0.75 or 0.8 as a short track or whatever below. And here's the crazy thing: they consider this or anything that is 1.5 a super speedway. And I'm sitting going, 1.5
No.
is not a super.
No.
Intermediate track. It's,
Right.
to
Cookie
me,
cutter
two
intermediate.
miles and up is like super speedway.
Right, right.
But again, everybody has their opinion. I know that even the real world drivers consider a mile or shorter a short track. It is. I just, for the sake of me having to sit up here and go, I just say it's a short track, so I don't get confused.
I tell you what, we're a short track series, correct? I mean, that's what we run mainly,
but
and
now
we're
this
at
is
New Hampshire.
we'll
so-
say this is one of the bigger short tracks that they've been to, and
that's what
that's
I call it.
and this is really, and I think that's kind of why we're seeing some of the racing. What we're seeing is they have a lot more room here at this track in New Hampshire. I mean, you know, the Cup cars race here, and obviously they've got plenty of room. These guys, are, like you just said earlier, in real life, they might restrict to plate them down because these motors technically have, 700-800 horsepower.
They got a lot of power,
Yeah.
and they're light, and the draft just benefits these. We were talking about during practice. You can pick up 3/10 just because you're following somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, that's insane for what is considered really a short track. You know, like you wouldn't think that's possible. Look at
And
these
a
three
track
drivers;
like
they are
this-
nose to tail right now.
Yeah, that's
from
what
the
I'm saying.
track.
Nose to tail, and this track right here, and what this is bringing about is the racing you're seeing. Also, and they're able to make those passes. I think as the race goes on, the longer that it goes, I'm still curious on if Coffee just lost it coming out of the turn, overdrove it. That's what it kind of looked like to us on that replay, and then he just had to go down pit road. But what you're seeing here, this cluster of cars, and then right behind them, you're still seeing another wild major cluster.
You're starting to catch them though, Joe. You notice
Now,
that?
well, lap times. If we look at lap times here, Raymond ran a 31.71.
Okay.
All the way through the field, even back to Coffee, is, well, Frank Barb would really be back there because Coffee's kind of off. But even Frank Barb is running a 32.17.
But not that far off, really.
That's what, a half second. But most of the field is running 31.60s. There's only like a tenth and a half separating this whole entire field. So that's why you're not seeing them cut. I mean, obviously over time they're going to split up because there is a gap there. But
Right.
that's why you're not seeing them, they're all kind of even on the track right now.
That 13 machine works well with the P4. That's going to be the biggest mover thus far. And Aiden Young, I don't know if you've been paying attention when we talk about the track, but Aiden Young and Dalton Kilroe are going at it. I mean, they have been going at it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And if you notice, usually, Joe, and I mean, when second and third gets the racing like that, first place just starts rubbing his hands together because he loves it, because then they're slower. But those two drivers have been battling and hasn't not lost a single tenth to Jason Raymond yet.
And, here comes, like you talked about, Thomas Axiom. He's the fastest on the track. He ran a 31.16. Don't know where he's getting the speed. Now, I don't know if it's the fact that he's using up a lot of the tires to get up there. Probably is. Because where he's sitting at, we'll go ahead and say it, where he's sitting at right now, that's where he wants to be, championship-wise. I mean, anywhere from here up is where he needs to be at. So he could be pushing that car hard to get it up there. Watch to see if the tires kind of fall off. These other guys, knowing it's a longer race, could be saving a little bit. We don't know.
When the competition cost comes either. I mean, it's still going to be on lap 50, even though it is a little bit longer race, Joe. It's still coming at lap 50.
Look at Axiom.
Just
He was pushing Young almost through the turn.
And now I was talking about that earlier. This setup is actually, really afraid today, Joe, when I tested that they would be some self spins tonight, because I get to set up, then I test it, and then I put it out to the guys. And I was worried there would be some self spins, just people spinning off by themselves, because, man, it feels like you're constantly just leaned over on that right rear. But these drivers, they looking steady as can be. Can we go on board with Axum right here? Let's see if he's trying to catch that car or anything on exit.
Yeah, we're gonna watch him. He's coming off turn.
A little.
Yeah, not too bad. He actually seems pretty
Not
stable
bad.
in that turn. We'll see what he does on 1 and 2. Through this one, a little tighter going into that one, a little high, but I'm gonna keep him. Should be pretty good going. Wow. Yeah, I mean he caught it right there.
Ooh, yeah, big catch right there. So, I mean, it is a little bit loose, but they seem like they're doing okay, and now that makes me wonder.
Now, here's the thing with this track too. New Hampshire is a unique track, and I've raced this many times in the trucks and so forth.
Right.
The one thing about coming off of the turns, you almost have to attack these turns like you would road course style turns, the same way you would with like Martinsville.
Yep.
It's not a total flat track, but it's close. So you don't have a lot of banking in those turns. So you can't just throttle down coming out of the turn. You're going to step it sideways. Got to wait for that nose to be kind of straight. You're going to go up the track a little bit, maybe like what we saw Axiom right there, go up the track. You're going to stay in that middle groove. Coming off that turn 4, it can get loose very quick and go into the wall if you get back on the throttle, and now you're going to see it looks like Aiden made the mistake, and that's what's going to cost him.
It cost him a spot right there. So, yeah, basically what these drivers are they're trying to do a diamond effect. They're not doing it nearly like what we do at Martinsville, where you cut it all the way down to the apron. But the lower you get here at New Hampshire, the less grip there is. And I've noticed here, Axum
Perfect
is
line they're running right there. It's about the middle of the track.
Axum's running almost a full groove up on entry versus these guys. I thought maybe he just overshot the entry once. That looks like where he's going, and of course I said that, so now he's going to look low. But before that, he was.
Ooh, but you see right there, he had to get out of there. He'd have went right up into him. That car got awful tight real quick.
Had to get out of the throttle because he was going to push up in the kill roll right then.
And they are tearing Raymond up, and it's a good race between these top 4 guys. And like what you just said, this track can get that what we always said, that the tight, loose feeling, tight going in, loose coming off. It's a worse feeling you can have as a race driver.
There's no correcting it either. What you can try to do almost anything in the car, back your corners up, slow down more, then you feel like you're getting ate alive by the competition around you. It is. It's the worst feeling ever, because you're getting tight in the center, so you put so much wheel into it. And then what happens when you get to exit? You got so much wheel in it, you got the power going down, then you're chasing the rear end around.
It's one of those things the driver don't like. He's yelling at his crew, hey, do something. They can't do anything. You pretty much have to drive it up. It's all right there. Now, driving on the inside of this place, and he's got a little bit tight there and going to get loose, I guarantee. Now, if he can hold side by side here, he's going to have that position going into 1 and 2, or doing 3 and 4.
So we spoke about it before we went on the air. I'm thinking it's going to take about 2 corners, really, to pass the guy here. You got to set him up out of 2, like we saw Axum do, guy side by side, and then going into 3, was able to actually finally complete that pass, whereas most short tracks we go to, they enter behind him at turn 1 and turn underneath him turn 2 and try to get around him. And you look, here's Dalton Kilroy trying to fight back with Thomas Axum here, and going to fight for the lead a little bit. Dalton goes down low. I think there may be some contact. Some more contact. Thomas Axum's into the wall.
And, right there was just basically Raymond was, I don't want to, lack of a better word, he was kind of right there in the way of what Kilroy needed. And there was just kind of nothing they could do. You saw Axiom behind him. They closed up on the leader quick, and Kilroy was going to try to get around Axiom, nowhere to go. And we were talking about it. Those cars just get real tight and loose, and something's got to give.
At a track like this, where these cars are so aero-dependent, the draft is so heavy, I don't know if I want to be out front. Now,
we're seeing it. I mean, Raymond's not walking away. This is kind of unique.
He can't get away from him. He can't shake him. And, I mean, like we saw that little bit of an instant right there. They fell back about half a second to him, but then all it took is 1 lap, and they were right back there hounding on him. Yeah. And I don't think it's that they're that much faster than Raymond. I think whoever's out front like that is going to be basically hounded the whole night because that draft. I mean, look, that whole cluster that we had earlier, 4-car cluster's gone. We got 5 guys from here now, nose to tail.
Oh yeah, about to be a little bit more. Got a car spinning. Oh, I thought there was a car spinning. My bad. Like Chris Carroll in the mix here. So Carroll looking on the inside of Young. He's coming up through the field.
Aiden Young put it on the pole. He may be trying to conserve right here, Joe.
Could be. We don't know. I mean, I would say Aiden right now is probably in the best position as far as wanting to be up here, like what you just said earlier. Kind of just ride and seeing what the track's going to give. And that's what it looks like. I'm going to ride here, let these guys up there tear up their stuff, battle it out a little bit, and just kind of ride. You know, even if Carroll wants to keep pressing the issue behind me, I'll let him go on too. As me as a driver, I'd say, you get so early in the race, go on. There's no need for me to fight you hard. You know, if you want it that bad, and just kind of sit and ride pace-wise and look at what those guys up there are doing. And you know, that's because they're pushing hard. Axion's pushing a little harder than I would thought, but again, every driver wants to win. I know Raymond is going to drive that thing, man, into the ground.
But you know, like normally with our 125 lap race, we have our competition caution at lap 50. Yes, that's a little early to take tires, but you can manage it. When you got another 100 laps left from the competition caution, I don't think you can really take tires at lap 50. Now there might be some people that do it.
That's gonna be tough.
But especially with the way the race looks like it's shaking out, no caution thus far. So I mean, that's where the chess game comes in. You see these cars, they are battling right now.
Well, yeah, they are. It's a great battle. I mean, you got Carroll to Axiom up there, and Raymond's holding them off Kill Road. Again, Raymond out front running, and we've seen it all season long. You don't want to give up because we're already seeing, even with these tires, how hard it is to pass. To see Thomas Axiom's going for the lead. He'll go door to door. Let's see if he's able to hold that inside, or if that car gets a little bit too tight. I think he might be able to drive it in, and he's going to take the lead.
Just went looked at the viewers. So Mark said that Axon was able to find all that speed and talent. I was like, yes, and for sure that talent and the .3010 help from draft. But look, Raymond is fighting back. Joe went to
got
the inside.
Got it back from a crisscross.
He's going to crisscross him up and switch over, and then Axon's going to do it again. These drivers are putting on a show right here.
Yeah, and you know what? This track pretty much is bringing about that. They're able to do it. They got enough room. Yeah, you're going to get a little tight right there. Wow.
This is for the championship right here. Now, granted, if Axon finishes where he's at, it's a done deal. But they're racing for wins. They're racing for more than
like what
win.
Raymond said. Raymond said, look, if I can't get the championship realistically, I want to win a race bad. Right. He hasn't won one all season. He's been very close to winning one. We know, Axiom's won, quite a few. So definitely he's going to fight it hard. And here's the thing Axiom's got to look out for. Raymond's got really nothing to lose at this point. Axiom's got everything to lose.
Exactly. That's what I thought when I asked Thomas how he's going to approach it. I figured he was just say calm and cautiously, because Axiom is actually the one with everything to lose. Jason Raymond has the gun in his hand. It don't matter. Yeah. He's got nothing to lose. And something I saw right there, I saw 2 drivers scrape the wall a little bit. We haven't seen that thus far tonight. When I think New Hampshire,
way off of it.
When I think of New Hampshire, and now I know you've probably done more trucks, Xfinity and Cup here than I have, but I've raced super late models and whatnot here, and it seems like you don't really get tight, but since you have so much throttle input to it, your car kind of slides out to the wall.
Yeah,
and I mean, that is a form of tight. And now we talk about how if your rear wheels are sliding, then pretty much your front wheels are sliding in this car.
Yeah, it's like a 4-wheel drift.
Right. You see what Axel's doing on the backstretch there? He's cutting down low. He's trying to do what these drivers do at Pocono and stuff like that in real life. He's trying to break that draft up on them cars behind him.
And we saw Raymond out front this whole entire time. He wasn't able to pull away. Look at Thomas came through the field like gangbusters and got out front. He's still not been able to pull away. Raymond's right there on him. So that brings you back to what you're talking about with that draft. There's a car length there between them, but he's not getting away, and Coffee crashes in the back, it says. I'm going to replay here and see what happened to Coffee, who has not had to race ever since spinning early. See what maybe don't know if he's trying to go into the pits or he's just having a hard time, but they'll spin on the back. And
tough break for that 7 machine. He joined the season really late. He does our super late models with us, but he's not into modifieds. He said really until he ran one race with us. He said he really enjoyed it. So that's.
Well, I talked to his mom last night on the chat. Was kind of cool. He actually raced in real life the Bangalow or something like that.
Bandolero.
Bandolero, yeah.
Bandoleros, yes.
He raced those in real life at one time. She said no, and been in the sim racing, and we talked about a lot about what sim racing brings about. So, the first time tonight we've seen anybody kind of pull away from the field.
Yeah, Axiom is making us follow our words right now. But now we did see teammates right there, 44 and the 41. They were battling a little bit.
Didn't he just say he took a nap? Didn't Thomas say he took a nap?
I don't. When we interviewed,
didn't we interview him in the? Who did we interview in the? Was it Raymond who said he took a nap? One of them said he didn't get a lot of. I heard on the qualifying interview said he took a power nap.
Oh, that was Axel. That was
That's
Axel.
what I thought it was. Axel said he didn't get a lot of practice, took a power nap and so forth.
Yeah, sorry, I got a migraine. I was spaced out right then. I couldn't remember.
I chuckled when I heard it, so maybe that's what some other drivers need to do. Get out here, take some power naps before the races, and it's working out for him. But Raymond's kind of falling off the pace. Carroll's looking to go around him. Tires could be going away. Just a track, and there you go. The car broke loose on the inside of Carroll.
Woo. That was close. I hear him talking over the radio right now. He apologized to Raymond. So he didn't mean to do that, but that's just a product of hard racing right there. As we're slowly but surely tiptoeing our way to the competition caution in about 5 laps.
Yeah, and I know it's going to be interesting who's going to pit, who's not. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Season finale here tonight. 5 Kings Motorsports Crooked Line Racing. We're at the New Hampshire Speedway. Double points night. A little bit, a little tad bit longer on the race. About 25 laps. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but to these drivers it will be. And right now, Thomas has worked his way all the way from the back to the front. I mean, this is what he needs to do. Raymond's still trying to hang on to that 3rd place, but he's got Young up underneath him.
They need to follow Thomas Axum. Every time he's breaking the draft like that, he's not allowing them to maintain his draft. And you want as many cars as you can in a line. So every time Thomas Axum drops down low like that, he's basically hurting the drivers behind him that's elected not to follow him. And now people wonder, well, if you're swerving like that, you're going to be slow. Well, race cars and drafting are weird, folks. I promise.
Mm-hmm. Well, they still got a cluster. I was looking behind, kind of broke up in the pack back here with Evernham in 7th, Murphy right here in 8th, Quadros in 9th, Bogo round out the top 10. So everybody's kind of split up, and then John Hine hanging on his 11th place spot. So really the rest of the field, as we kind of go through it, not much going on. Those guys are kind of spread out. Let's go all the way back, and unfortunately Frank Barb out of this one, but so it takes us back up here. This is the race. The top 4 or 5 guys, all like right there, nose to tail.
Alex Coffey, is he a lap down now? Alex
no,
Coffey
he's
is
still not a lap down.
So
he's 23 seconds back.
He's close. I saw on your camera right then he was getting close. But that's one good thing about this track. You can have a mistake, no caution come out, and still not go a lap down. I'm starting to wonder about fuel too, Joe.
Yeah,
I didn't. So normally I get to set up, and normally I'll just transparent. It had about 16 gallons in it normally, and then I just bump that up to 20, 21, 22 depending on the track. I left this one at 17 tonight, so I know for a fact they can't make it to the end. As competition cost is going to fly now, so first 50
now,
laps
my thing
win.
is, do they just come in here on the competition cost and then put fuel in? No tires. You talked about that.
Right.
No tires because it would be a long way. So if I'm sitting out here and I know, why not just come in, splash, or put fuel in since it is a caution, you've got time. And then later on, all I got to do is put tires in because I know I'm good on fuel. Maybe.
I think if they was, and now we do know it takes a long time for these cars to fuel. but it's a bigger style track. It'll probably take about a minute for the pace car to come all the way around. So yes, if you want to elect to sit there and fill it all the way up, you will lose some spots on the grid, but that's one less worry you got to worry about coming around lap 150, you know? And I know with about 17 gallons, I think they were only going like 75 laps. So they may not even be able to make it from this point on if they fill it up. It wasn't, I can't remember exactly. I wish I was running my sim apps to know for sure.
Well, looks like everybody's going to come in. Top guys, all top guys are going to come in. And be interesting to see here. Do they put tires or do they
if you're running 6-7, do you just risk it here and think maybe we'll go green the rest of the way out and take your tires? If you go green the rest of the way, you take your tires now, you look like a genius. But if you take your tires now and there's a caution in 30 laps, then you have egg on your face. And that's what I like tire strategy races.
Looks like nobody's taking tires.
Yeah,
right
I don't think anybody can risk it just because we know after the competition caution things have gotten dicey in this series. I mean, let's just
actually, I'm just gonna go through the whole field.
Ain't you gonna drive through pit lane? That's actually gonna be a penalty, but
that's what I was about to ask you. Was that like legal?
Yeah, I don't know if Mr. Sexton is going to be watching that or not, but it's 3 in, 3 out, meaning you can.
Yeah, well, he went more than 3 in.
Yeah, he went about 9 in and about 21 out.
Yeah, I don't really get into the rule stuff, but that one kind of like he killed everybody on pit road.
Especially you had the camera right on him too.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to see if he did just take fuel. Pretty much everybody else just took fuel.
But Josh Sexton just came over the radio warning drivers not to be cut through pit lane. I don't think we mentioned it in the drivers meeting. I was away, but just mentioned 3 in, 3 out.
He needs to give him a penalty so it makes it interesting.
That's what I'll make.
I mean, hey, look, we're playing devil's advocate now up here in the booth. I know the driver's gonna be coming back listening and go, man, Joe,
I
shut
tell
up.
you what, Thomas can be a hothead. I'll make you the admin. You give it to him. All right.
I mean, I don't know how to do all that stuff. I remember I'm spectating. I can't do it.
Oh, okay.
I can't do it, man.
So yeah, I know.
But I'll take the word on it. Is here's my thing. I don't care who it is on the track, and I'm up here in the booth, and again, it's race control.
The best product.
Right, and it's right. And folks, here's the thing. Whatever I say up here in the booth, as far as how I see it in the booth, and race control obviously controls the race. What they want to do is on them. To me, that was a penalty. Should have been a penalty. I don't care who you are. You can be the greatest driver, best of friends, worst of friends, whatever in the league. If you do wrong, you do wrong. You should get penalized for it. I don't care who you are, what you are, what you think you are. But anyways, we go back to because Thomas is a good driver, and a lot of the other guys out here. But yeah, I mean, rules are rules. You gotta go by them. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad.
We're actually.
Mark says that it's too late in the season for warnings, and that's.
But that's what I was about to say. So me and Sexton were talking. That's never came up before in this series.
Yeah.
And
I've never seen it. Really, we never. Right. Well, you know why it's never come up? They don't pit very often.
Position.
Yeah,
right,
they don't ever
exactly.
pit that often.
Exactly. And now, with Sexton not giving a penalty, I mean that's on him. I let him make that call.
That's the race control, man. I'm gonna tell you that's
it's a thankless job, no matter what. It's a thankless job. If I was race control, I don't think I could give that penalty out. Now I could come over to race control and say, all right, this is your one warning. It is late in the season. If it came up before, I'd say, okay, that's a penalty right there, no matter what.
I'd like to make it interesting. All right, Thomas, you got 5 points deducted off of your points. So then he'd be like, huh?
Right. I'm seeing drivers really fan out towards the back of the pack there. Man, oh man. The drivers up front are kind of playing nice with each other, but those drivers towards the back, not really playing nice.
You got Coffee. He was able to pull back up the ninth. Bogo's there with him and other teammates. Hines there. Carpenter's up there with him. So good cluster of machines, like you said. And we saw that earlier on in the race where you had, clusters up front and then kind of towards the back. And then the back kind of got way spread out with each other, but still... These front runners, they stayed on top of each other. You see That should be, who's that? Carroll and Young, them two going at it.
They are going at it back and forth, but man, oh man, Thomas Axton, he has set sail. He's not really checked out, but compared to what we've seen thus far tonight, he is. I mean, he has a very comfortable lead right now, not being hounded on by that 41. I want to give an update on the 44. Where's the 44 running at right now?
44?
44
Who is that? Oh,
Jason Raymond.
He is in 5th place right now.
P5. Also, I want to say a while ago, so we saw Alex Coffey, he spun twice, had a little bit of a rough race versus what he normally has, but he qualified P4, so he showed he had a nice pace, and fortunately for that driver, he never went a lap down, and he's currently battling, I think he's up to like 6 or 7.
Up to 8,
okay.
That's still a good, like you said, a good bounce back because earlier spun not once but twice. First one brought up the cost, and the second one is spinning, could have lost a lot of ground, but didn't, never went a lap down. Able to, this competition caution basically got him back, and that's why I think I said earlier, need a little help getting through this field, and you can pick them off and stay there. Those cautions sometimes can help you, but we did have a long green flag run. I mean, we went to the competition caution, so that's got to be in the back of some of those top guys' minds. How hard do I run it? To me, though, from what I've seen all season long, you run the car hard, because it really doesn't matter if you run it conservative or hard. Those tires still feel like they neutralize after a while, and it just really, for some reason, it just doesn't matter here.
These tires just have not been as big of a benefit like you think they would be in this series.
Hey, yeah, and
it's crazy because last season, like me and Jason Day were talking about, last season's champion, there was some races, Joe, where you'd go in and pit, like what I've done in a super late model. So I still ain't learned my lesson. I'll go in and pit on lap 70 and never get back to my spot because I'm an idiot, I guess. But there's some races where you pit and you get all them spots back. Then there's other races where you pit and you go negative on where you went in. So if you went in 4th, you may finish the race 7th. And that lather is what it's been this whole season. Nobody's really went in, took 4 fresh tires, and just sliced their way up through the field this season. And it's we say it every week. It's so strange. I don't understand it. Won't never understand it.
I don't either. I mean, last night was the first car I've really ever seen kind of come up to it and kill roll off the track.
Yeah, I saw that.
Go back on the replay here real quick to see what happened to him. He was back there running by himself, so maybe kind of the same thing that happened to Coffey.
Got a little bit loose on him.
The wall got out there. Watching it right here, it had to be in 3 and 4.
I struggle with the wall on exit 3 and 4 bad. Oh,
Now we got
caution is out on
caution.
the speedway. Let's
Yeah,
see what happens
there's
to
the
real
Carroll
quick.
one. And, well,
Kilrow
actually, this is
just-
that was Kilrow. But then let's go back on the caution, which is actually Carroll. Let's see what happened to him.
Got Jason Raymond in front of him. Let's see what happens
Oh,
here.
got a little bump in the back. He actually had to check up and got a little bump.
I'm not sure who.
Several other cars just had to check up in the back, and they're off the track too. Just
Oh
kinda-
man, yeah, they just they couldn't get the car woed up, got down the grass. And I'm not sure who that was that got into Carroll. I couldn't tell. My internet
was
is
it
being
Casey?
bad right
I
now.
think it's Casey. Casey.
When I watch your Discord stream, so folks,
Hey,
he's
little-
showing me his video, and it's just looking weird on my end right now.
Yeah, it looks a little. Looks like Carroll had to check up just a little bit, and
Stay off
Casey
Raymond.
just know where to go.
Okay.
Going to go into pits. Probably got a little damage on that one, but
I'd put the camera on Casey. That's a fast driver right there. Let's see what he does here. Joe, he might elect to take tires. I'm not sure. We're hearing a lot of race chatter too. There's some drivers that weren't even involved in that incident that are not happy right now. Look at this. Look what he's doing. He just drove through every box. All right. Sexton just let him know. Just got his first EOL handed out. He didn't sound very happy about that one either. He sounded kind of monotoned, and in the words of Mark Arthur,
let me say something on that. And I'm going to go off what Mark said. It's a little late to give warnings. Thomas got away with it earlier. You basically opened the door up for everyone else.
Exactly.
And
What do you do now?
And now you're like, oh well, wait a minute. He didn't get one, and he ran through all the cars out there. At least there wasn't nobody on my
pit stop.
And no, two wrongs don't make a right. Blah blah blah.
But you can't
Again.
punish a driver. Although Josh did come over and say this is your one warning.
Yeah. He should have, I guess. And again, race control, do it.
He may
That's
have
on
watched
there.
it right there. Maybe he was
should've-
trying to watch the wreck back and
Maybe it
everything.
should have been like, Thomas, this is your one warning. You know what I mean? Type of thing or something. I don't know. It really, that's a double-edged sword, man. That's just kind of really tough. And I guess if you're just going to, it's the last race of the season.
In our actual rule book, and this is going to sound right, Kelly. You can't penalize one and not the other. You're exactly right.
And it really,
This is going to sound.
it's tough.
This is going to sound bad, but I'm not sure in our quote-unquote actual rule book, there may not even be a rule stated for
I
that.
haven't really read it, so
But I
faltered
know,
on that one. So that's my
but
bad.
I do know it's been mentioned in the driver's meeting because I mentioned it the very first race of the season, and I said it just like I told you. I told them you get 3 in, 3 out, meaning you can cut through 3 pit stalls on the way in, 3 pit stalls on the way out. And now, normally, and Mark can attest to this, normally we have 2 people in race control, and there's one person that will go back and try to decipher the wreck for the caution. Now, if they need help on that, other guy will go back and help them, try to decide who's at fault.
Right.
And then that second guy, he's the one that's watching restart violations, watching pit stops and stuff like that. Well, right now, Josh Protection's a one-man booth. Like, he's a
it's
one-man
tough.
band.
I mean, I gotta give it is tough on it, and you know, looking back on some things, you're gonna miss stuff being race control. Obviously, again, we see maybe a little bit more than what he does because we're watching replays and we're watching this and that.
Right.
And you know, I'm not gonna take anything away from race control, what they're doing. You know, and definitely it's their job. We just like bringing the drama up here.
Now, I
you
will
go.
say this. The drivers, they've never said anything personally to me about it, but I like it when I have Scotty and Josh in there because Josh is a little bit more relaxed on the EOLs. Josh, I mean, you've talked to him. He's pretty calm, pretty mellow, you know. Whereas Scotty don't care. He'll EOL you if you're leading the race with 1 lap to go. Whereas Josh is like, but
if you do, if you do wrong, you do wrong. I mean, it happens.
But the one thing I will say about both of them, they are fair along the board.
That's
like,
the thing. As long as you're fair on it across the board, and you know, here's the thing. I mean, you touched on it there, and that's the number one thing: is consistency. You know, consistency of drivers on the track of how they race, and then consistency, like you said, has been an admin. It's a tough job, folks. You know, we get up here in the booth, we can sit here and call all day, and again, we see things up here that maybe they don't see. We maybe see it a way that they don't see it. The ultimate, at the end of the day, it is their call. I don't get into that. I've said that 100 times because I've been yelled at to drivers. Joe, what are you doing? Hey, I ain't the be-all, end-all. It's Quadros is around. Happened to Quadros here.
Oh, he was actually removed from the server. He was actually griping to Josh.
Oh, he just drove that thing in there.
Yeah, he said he had a black flag. He said, I'm not serving it, and brought out a caution on purpose.
Yeah.
He tried to intentionally wreck. He was actually going for Jason Raymond right there.
And that,
championship driver.
you gotta, you know, and then there's a good heads up by, you know, we'll basically get into our admin conversation. It's a good heads up there. Hey, we've talked about it all season long. Drivers, hot-headedness, short track, tempers. It happens. Happens in real racing, happens here. I mean, we've referenced, you know, obviously Bowman Gray, which is that's just a madhouse. You know, you can always know there's going to be a fight there at that one. Which now let me say something. I'm not I know people love it when they see it on TV, but I'm not all for that pit road fighting. Racing's racing. I get it. Get mad at drivers, but to walk down there and to start an all-out brawl, because all it's going to take, and I'm surprised it hasn't happened recently, is a guy to pick up a doggone 3/4 inch wrench and slap somebody upside the head with it, kill a guy. Over what? I mean, really?
Right.
You know, and surprised it hasn't happened. Somebody got shot, which I imagine that has happened. Yeah, I imagine the stuff
I'm
has,
sure.
but it hasn't happened lately.
My
But
dad had a gun pulled on him, I know, and
Yeah.
that was a pretty scary situation.
that's what I'm saying. And things like that just needs to be taken out of racing. I know it happens in the shorts. I know it happens like Bowman Gray we're talking about fighting. Now they're taking tires, which obviously is a good call here. We're with Raymond and Axiom and company. Actually, though, it looks like, you know, did he? He either took tires and no fuel or something, because Raymond got on pit road, came out 12th. Thought he was 5th there at one time.
He was, so I'm
Sure, his pit times, though, don't show he lost time. His total time was 52 seconds. Yeah, he lost, well, I mean, it's 2 seconds. I guess that would, 49 for Thomas. Yeah, I don't know if it was just him getting on pit road or not, but every minute just a little bit there. Interesting to hear maybe kind of the viewers out there on what your take on, you know, short track racing, tempers of drivers, and whatnot. How far should drivers take it? To me, I feel like all that drama stuff in the pit road areas, especially when you got big time, like NASCAR, or even the Tour Modified for that matter, the big time. But you got huge sponsors involved, and their likeliness is there, and you've got money on the line. Last thing I'm gonna do is go in the pit area and act like a big dummy, like a better word. Nobody likes to be the bad guy. Okay.
Oh no,
Well,
no. Who said that?
Mark.
No. Scotty thrives on being the bad guy. Scotty
That's what I'm
thrives on it.
saying. I was about to say, and I was going to say, do they really? I mean, because a lot of guys want to be that bad boy on the racetrack, and
Right.
you know, obviously we reference Earnhardt back in the day, and well, that's the problem. You say it's as long as it's man to man, it's never going to be man to man. I mean, not in a pit road. It's not going to be. You're walking up in the pit stall of another driver. You're taking on 10 other guys. You know, I mean, and then you're taking that risk of, again. I'm gonna say this, Mark. You walk in my pit box, I'm gonna have a braking bar waiting for you. Okay, I'm not gonna be fair. I'm gonna tell you straight up. I'm gonna cheat. All right. So. You might want to bring your whole pit crew with you. That's all I got to say.
Green.
Oh, a little checkup in the back. Who was that? Looks like Carpenter got checked up a little bit. I don't know what, and that outside didn't get going.
Man, oh man. Sorry, Joe. I went silent
you're
for a
fine.
minute, handling some drama. Got people messaging me.
Oh,
But
I understand.
the
That's what we're
fighting
talking about.
aspect-
Drama of short track racing. Yeah, there
Right.
you go.
The fighting and the stuff like that, I think it's okay. I mean, it's not okay by no means. But if you're going to fight, like Mark said, hand to hand, get it out of your system if you need to. If you don't need to, cool.
Right.
What I don't like is, I don't like what we saw Matt Kenseth do with Joey Logano. I'm a super...
You're tearing up a lot
Against-
of equipment.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not a Joey Logano fan at all. I watched him down at Bristol snub a little girl. She was like 4 years old. All Joey Logano t-shirt, everything. Asked for an autograph. He said no, whatever. So I've just always said, okay, I don't like Joey Logano. But what Matt Kenseth did to Joey that night, that's unacceptable. That kind of stuff, like when you go out there, especially at these local tracks, where these guys, they don't have a backup car. You know, they put all their time and effort into one car, and they go out there and get that destroyed because somebody lost their head for a moment. That's the stuff I don't like, and that's the stuff you see down at Bowman Gray. I mean,
You do.
they will
You
just
see a lot of it.
across
Yeah.
the infield to take out whoever just wrecked them, and that's just above and beyond. Then,
Yeah, and I'm with you on that one. You know, definitely, and fortunately, I am a Joey Logano fan, because I like Fords, you know, particularly. And Bill Elliott doesn't race anymore, so there you go. I had to pick somebody. I go back to references like that. Now, you speak of that. Here's the thing. I grew up, obviously, in the day and age of short track racing where the bump and run was a huge part of it. And back in that time, you know, to me, short track racing, you rub, you get beside, trade a little paint, you know, bump and run plays in. You know, like I say, I'm back in those Bill Elliott, Terry Labonte, Earnhardt days. You know, those guys, man, scuff each other up. They wouldn't, well, they would wreck, but they wouldn't, you know, try to tear a guy up, but they would definitely get out there and do a lot of paint rubbing. But one of the most famous things, and you mentioned Logano at Martinsville with him and Truex. Logano did a perfect bump and run, textbook bump and run. And then it came down, so we got a huge wreck in it. No caution yet, but boy, we got a car around. Bogo.
Ed Brown's third in the points, smoking down the backstretch. I do think. I think he's third in the points. Yes, Ed Brown third in the points.
And I'm gonna replay here because I didn't bring a caution out. But real quick, what I was saying is he did a textbook bump and run, and obviously him and Truex came to the line bumping and grinding, and one guy's got to win, one's got to lose. But I know there was a big uproar about, oh, that's a dirty move. Like, no, folks, that was not. That textbook. And I've come to the realization that the NASCAR fans and stuff like that, oh, actually it wasn't him. It was actually, oh, it was John Hine that lost it. So let's see what happened to John.
While you do that, Joe, we
got
got
right here, yeah.
Aiden Young's hounding the leader, so it's going to be some fireworks, baby.
Okay.
I'm not sure if Thomas Axiom took tires or what. I had too much going on. You'll have to update me.
Oh, contact.
Contact right there.
Yeah, I don't know who that was. It looked like Alex Murphy. I don't want to put on him. It might have been Coffee. I don't want to say it 100%.
I think it was a 7 car, Coffee.
Look, just very, very slight contact. Unfortunately, like I said, Ed Brown nowhere to go right there. But found that no caution because they're so close to the infield. But unfortunately, John Hine wrecking there, just trying to stay out of the way. But yeah, you're talking about up lead here. Axiom's got company. Young, Gilroy right there with him. So good race. Again, I go back on that short track racing. I love to see the bump and run. We haven't really seen it here because it's really tough with these cars. These cars are pretty much open wheel style. These are not meant to get out here and bump each other. You can do it.
Well,
you gotta be careful with those tires.
In real life, you that's what them bars all on his car is for. I mean, like we mentioned Bowman Gray all the time. They get up there and they just destroy each other.
Oh, yeah, they do.
But on iRacing, guys, we're seeing a three-way battle for the lead
see
here.
That Kilroy, man, trying to high side. That's a power move right there. Wow. Is he gonna make that thing complete? Because he just went to the high end.
That's a power move. That's a strong
Aiden's got the
move
perfect seat in the house for it. He's going to go to the outside. Wow.
Aiden followed Dalton right there. Pushed Dalton with that draft help. So did Axiom, did he not take tires, Joe? Are you able to tell?
Well,
according to pit time?
He did a 22-second pit stop, so I don't know if he just took tires or if he took fuel. Here's the thing, though. Kilroy only did a 5-second pit stop. So now both of those drivers, Kilroy and Axiom, haven't pitted since 51. And, well, actually, my bad. Kilroy pitted at 65. Aiden and Axiom pitted at 51. Casey, who was coming up there, pitted at 63. I know Kilroy did not take tires, but somewhere he's gotten fast. Axiom has just fell off. Now, maybe Axiom understands the points, because as of right now, he's going to walk out here the champ if nothing changes, you know. Maybe he's like, look, you guys want to win.
Maybe Thomas is saving his stuff now. I mean, I don't. Because it just like he just.
Remember that fuel? Remember that fuel earlier?
Maybe.
You know, he pitted at 51. You said they couldn't go 75 laps or so.
I figured I'd put all my money down. They can't make it from lap 50 to 150. Now, there has been 2 cautions in between that, but I still think they're short. As we're seeing Thomas Axiom Dalton Kilroy take a page out of Axiom's playbook. starting to break that draft up on the backstretch.
Yeah, now, and it brings up interesting because obviously Kilroe went in and took some fuel at lap 65 with a 5-second pit stop. Axiom went in at 51, Young at 51. So if they can't go 100 laps, then they're going to have to make another pit stop. Raymond pitted at lap 70. He should be okay. Yeah. Yep. He should be okay because if they can go 75 laps, he definitely can go. This could get interesting. I think they need another caution.
That's just a guess, but I'm almost positive they can't go to 100 laps. Because with 17
who's out there
gallons,
watching? Who's out there watching that's part of the team? Go find out for us. Who? How long these guys are saying they could go? One of the viewers out there is watching. I know somebody's gonna be watching.
I'll find out.
Mark, run down there and tell us who. How long do you think you can go? Give us an estimate, give or take. You ain't gotta give us exact numbers. I know you don't want to give you secrets.
This is Joe White. I will be right back. Hold on.
All right. Well, he's going to go get some pit reporting for us here and find out maybe if some of these guys can go the distance, because it could be very interesting up top here. Got a good battle, top 4 drivers. See, Thomas, he's on the back end again at Kilroe. So.
Okay, Joe,
right.
Sorry to interrupt you. Just got confirmation. Dalton Kilroe says he's good. Jason Raymond says he's good. They are thinking that Thomas Axum is at least 10 or so laps short.
Okay, so that would put us in. Kilroe pitted at 65. If my math is right, that's 50.
Kilroe was saving. He was saving too. He said he came out saving with the clutch and whatnot to make sure he could make it. I think he runs sim racing laps or whatever, so it's let him know he is in the green.
All right, so let's say 75 would be 50. So 65 laps is what roughly Kilroe has to go.
Kilroe's in the wall. Yikes.
75 laps is lap 55, though. So if Thomas has saved 4 or 5 laps, yeah, I mean,
I'm not sure how they know Thomas is not good, because they all said Thomas is for sure not good. I went down to race team 1 and just asked them.
And I'm going off of what you're. Let's say we're going off the 75 lap deal. Okay, let's just say that. By that, if that is true, then Thomas should be okay with the cautions there. Maybe a green white checkered would definitely hurt him. I don't know. It could be close. We'll just have to see. I'm
not sure why they're saying Axum won't make it. What lap did Axum pit on? He pitted with them, didn't he?
51, and then
51,
that puts him at 74 laps to the. Well, my bad. I'm thinking of 120. I'm off. Don't mind me, folks. My math is like.
Well, my math could be off too, Joe. My 75 lap is a complete guess based on what I had during testing today.
Let me reiterate what I was just saying a minute ago. 50 and 50 is 100. Lap 75 is the 75 mark.
Yep.
So to me, Kilroe would still be off. So that means they're saying that they could go 80 laps or so.
About
85 laps.
80 to 85 laps, yep.
Yeah, on fuel. And that would put Kilroe at the 65 lap mark. And yeah, then that would put Thomas Axiom a solid 10 or so laps shy.
They were very confident in saying Thomas, they said he wasn't going to make it. I was like, y'all are 100% sure Axiom's not going to make it. And 2 of them literally said, no chance, he's not making it.
Well, here's the thing with that too. I'm going to go ahead and say,
maybe
even if he does not make it and he has to pit, he's just going to splash and go. It's not going to take much, maybe a quarter tank or something. There's only 13 cars on the lead lap. It takes 16 cars for him to lose this championship with Raymond winning. Okay, so there's your drama on the calculation.
But there is a drop week. There's a drop week that we'll go in tonight. That's why the last season I crunched the numbers up to the broadcast. That's what
Josh told me before the race.
Yeah, well, he may not have been thinking about drop leads. When he puts in this final race, it's going to cut whatever each driver's worst race was of the season. But we know Thomas. I mean, he's won 6 times. He ain't really had too many bad races.
Now, if he finishes in the top 3, we already know. That's a given.
Yeah.
Actually, top 5 is a given. If he finishes in front of Raymond, it's a pretty much a given.
Right.
And as of right
absolutely.
now, he is in front of him. We know
I still want Josh to figure it out so we know the points totals.
Oh, yeah, well, he's going to finish up for that second, third for us, too, and definitely let us know.
I have a feeling our third and fourth place spot may flip here. William Evernham,
that one's close when
he's currently shown as, well, he's a little further back than I thought. He's 26 points behind Ed Brown, but Ed Brown is running 15th. He's the second car a lap down. So, and Evernham is running P8. But now look here. This is something to talk about with the fuel. Axiom, he's following Dalton now. You think maybe he's trying to save a little bit of fuel in that draft? I mean,
and it could be. I think that's what Axiom is, and because Martin brought up a good point. Let him lead the race. You're going to burn more fuel out front.
That's what I was wishing Kilroe didn't pass him, just to make it interesting. Not because I'm rooting against Axiom, but just to make it interesting.
Axiom could have let Kilroe go, and there's really no choice.
Right.
I mean, Dalton has no choice but to go around him because it get too slow.
Ooh, Axiom got loose right there.
I saw that. So
yeah.
It could be, and here's the thing too. At some point, you've got to look at the big picture. Championship. I want to win the race, obviously. I want to come out here and cap the season off grand. But if I got this chance of losing it, I've got to ultimately look at that big picture, and this is exactly what he needs to do as a champ. As caution's out, Aiden Young.
Oh, Aiden Young was actually put together. He was coming back up to the field too.
What happened to him here? A little contact.
Ooh, him and Zach Murphy.
Doesn't take much with these.
You're going so fast. They're on the edge, but heads up driving right there didn't make no contact with the wall.
Now with this caution, does Thomas come in and take fuel? Does he come in and say, you know what, I'm gonna take fuel?
I think you have. If he's 10 laps or more to the negative, meaning not good, you just have to. Now, if there's any drivers that has not taken their set of tires yet,
yep, here he comes.
They're going to look like geniuses.
I had a feeling he would have to. If it would have stayed green, he was going to probably push it.
Brad
but if it stayed this
him.
Caution here, yeah. And that should be a penalty. That should be a penalty. He ran through like 5 of them.
About 7 of them.
Yeah.
You're being courteous.
Well, I'm just trying.
Brad Carpenter didn't. Let's see. So Thomas is already taking.
Somebody else did it too. I don't know who else.
Look, Thomas is taking left side tires right now.
I see that. Now that's
his car's getting jacked up, right?
Now wait a minute. Let me ask the question.
I didn't
he took tires earlier.
That's what I was wondering. So.
Well, how did he take more tires?
No, I think Thomas only took 2 tires earlier because I heard him say I may have screwed up. I did hear him say it, but he could have been talking about fuel. But he did tell you over iRacing comment, he said I may have screwed up.
Well, here's a good thing. He's going to come out in 11th, and the thing about it is, it really wouldn't matter if he gets an EOL. He's going to be at the longest line anyways. Well, not quite. It'd still actually he'd be behind the lap cars, and still be in 11th place. So it's kind of a moot point with the penalty. If he came out, I'd say in 3rd or 4th, then I'd say, yeah, got to enforce that penalty that we talked about earlier in the race.
Yeah.
Here really is kind of mute because, well, there's some guys that are going to get back on the lead lap, so it might. I mean, I don't know. Again, let race control do it. Guess it's the principle.
When it's been the same driver twice now.
Right, you already got your 1 warning, so.
Well, 3. It's actually been 3 times now, but it's been the same driver twice for sure. Another driver.
Well, we know he's got fuel. He's got the fuel.
Yeah, he's good on fuel now. I know Dalton and them, the ones that said they were for sure good, they did not want to stay at caution. And he has 2 fresh Mr. Feelgoods on the left sides now. Joe, I don't know if you're aware or not, on these short tracks, ever since they updated this tire model, it looks like this even in NASCAR style racing. You put 2 tires on these cars, and it just throws the balance way off. They get
It
wicked
loosens
loose.
up. If you want a looser car in
Right, put
NASCAR,
on
it
2
loosens
tires.
it up. Put 2 tires. If you've got a
Right.
tight car, that's always been the census. Put 2 tires on it, and it's going to loosen it up. 2 right sides, and it should loosen it up. That's usually what a lot of guys I've seen do.
What about the left
whatnot.
side? If you only take 2
Yeah,
left?
I don't know. I really don't know, because a lot of times in the NASCAR side, they put right side on.
Short track
Yeah.
too, you know, that's what they
The
normally
right side,
go
yeah.
with. Because you're really working them, especially your right front, right rear.
Because that right
that's where-
rear, when you're tight, you know, obviously the right rear's getting tore up, or the right front's getting tore up. So that right side usually wears the worst, and then you put right side tires, and it's going to loosen that car up
Exactly.
a little
The
more.
right side
That's kind of the sense.
work more. They do more of the work for the car.
Yeah, yeah.
They help it turn, and then when you get on the throttle, that rear helps it get the momentum off the corner.
It looks
And
like
Doug Kilroy gets a great jump.
Him got saved by the penalty, so paid night. Okay. We'll say he got lucky on this one, but we'll see if he's able to do some work, get back up front,
Joe's
or
talking right now. I'm not sure what happened, but Josh was saying something right there.
if he's going to stay where he's at. You see a good battle right here about 4th and 5th. That's Willie Evernham, Bogo, Coffee and Company. And we've seen these starts be kind of they actually have been a lot better than I thought. Usually they've just got a lot of room at this track.
I know Willie Evernham, he's really the 9 car. Bogo stole his number tonight. He wasn't happy about that. So Willie Evernham was supposed to be number 9. I was supposed to bring that up earlier and I forgot. But he's currently sitting 4th in the points. He was the driver I mentioned earlier, trying to chase down Ed Brown, who's sitting 3rd. So he wants to get every position he can, because each spot you get, normally it's just 1 point. But tonight it's going to be 2 points. Yeah, well, I'm talking about Willie Evernham.
Oh, Evernham? Okay, yeah. He's in 5th and Bogo 7th.
His side of Willie's car says number 9. He's typically number 9 in this series because his uncle Ray Evernham, that's what they ran in NASCAR or whatever, whenever Evernham owned a team, Dodge team or whatever. So yeah, when Willie joined in, he was mad because he wasn't number 9 or whatever, according to iRacing. So I told him I would mention it on the broadcast for him.
Ah, okay. Hey, there you go. It's showing him number 9, Bogo is, but you're right, really Evernham's 17, but
right.
And everybody knows who
number 9 on the
well,
side of
everybody
his car.
should know who Ray Evernham is, you know. So
Oh,
there you go.
absolutely. Absolutely. One of the masterminds behind the SRX series.
But the 9 number, I don't 100% associate with the Evernhams because that was Bill Elliott's number.
I associate it with Bill Elliott. But
I mean, I really do. When I say if somebody
Elliott
says
did come
9,
run for him. Remember that?
well, he did for a little bit. Yeah, sure, he did. He did run for him.
I'm not sure. I'm not
Casey
sure.
Kane was the big, obviously, and then
Yes,
Jeff Gordon.
yes.
Casey Kane was a big one I know of, and
Yeah.
you know, everybody knows Jeff Gordon. You know, started there, but when it comes to the 9 car, it was Casey Kane. Bill did it for a little bit. But when I do really think of the 9 car, I think of back in the day, Bill Elliott's Coors car.
Coors
et
car.
cetera.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thomas right now is utilizing those 2 tires. He's up to 3rd.
I did not think those left sides would make that big of a difference, Joe. I really didn't. But I think it's left sides, but then you can't mitigate his talent too. And 6 wins, so he has good pace no matter what. Old tires,
yeah,
fresh tires.
absolutely.
But I just didn't think those left tires would benefit him this much. But man, oh man, he has sliced his way from 9th, fighting for 3rd right now. Got Mr. Second place in the points right there in front of him at 44, and Dalton Kilroy currently leading the train around New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
And you got
What's this
Coffee
track
hanging
called?
on the 3rd.
This track's called something else. It's New Hampshire or what else? What do they call it? I'm having a brain fart right now.
Moose. There's a moose involved. Is their mascot Moose?
Well, no, it starts with an L. They call this track not London. Loudon.
Loudon. Yeah, and
Loudon.
But their mascot is a moose, I believe.
A
is what it
moose?
was. 'Cause actually, Alex, who helps me on one of the NASCAR races, looked it up. We were talking about mascots for tracks. So, you know, Miles the Monster for Dover.
That's the most famous one.
Yeah, and there's another one that has a raccoon and
I figured this place
and
would be a
several other
lobster.
ones.
Would be
Oh,
the
Raymond's
mascot.
around.
Raymond's going around right in front of the points leader. That's gonna be a caution on the speedway. But I thought this track would be a lobster as the mascot because I think that's what they give the
It
winners
might,
as a
it might
trophy.
be. I mean, this guy.
You know what?
help or
You're
not?
busy. I'll Google it. I'll tell you.
Google it up, man, because I know one of them is a moose. If he just lost this, he just lost it. I swore he said this one was a moose, but you could be. I know they give a lobster for it, but
Name is. It is. It's a moose. It's
that's what I
Milo the
thought he
Moose.
said. Because I thought a moose. I said a what?
Wait a second. Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is a moose. Milo the Moose is what it is.
Milo, that's right, that's it. So I remember Alex bringing it up one time. He was Googling it like he did, and it was just doing mascots of tracks. And he said, yeah, Milo the Moose. I went, a moose? Really? For the mascot?
How
Wow.
does that have anything to do with New Hampshire?
I think the reason they do the lobster is because of New
No, I'm talking about
Hampshire
the
being...
moose. The moose.
Well, that,
like
yeah,
what-
I don't know where they got it because it's not
Now,
a
the
Canadian
lobster I
track.
get, you know?
The lobster I get because New
Right.
Hampshire, Maine, all that's known for lobsters and seafood, blah, blah, blah. I don't... Maybe it's because it's close to the Canadian border. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah,
That
because I
is
think
interesting.
moose, I think Alaska, I think Canada, like you said.
Yeah,
Canadian
that's one
border.
thing in Canada with big mooses up there.
Now,
Those
correct me
things
if
are
I'm
about as
wrong.
big as cows, man.
When a NASCAR driver wins here and they get the quote unquote trophy, it's a live lobster at first, ain't it? They got tape
Yeah, but
around
I
its
ain't picking it
pincers or
up.
whatever.
That ain't happening.
Man,
I ain't picking.
The thing is, it's not just your typical lobster either. It's freaking huge.
Yeah, I'm not
It
picking
is
it.
huge.
I'd be like, look, if I won here, somebody else got to pick.
I'm surprised with PETA and all that they're even still allowed to do that with the way cancel culture is. I'm so surprised. I hope they keep it going.
Could
though.
you imagine that in an
Right.
article? PETA comes up. We're all for lobster life. I mean,
Right.
especially
Oh,
if you. I guess
you
if they
know
thought about how they get cooked, they get cooked
Right.
hell
I mean-
alive, basically.
Yeah. You ever been to Red Lobster? I mean,
No,
pick
but I
your
mean,
own
I do.
lobster.
Like I say, I know how that works. So yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's one person out there. It would quote unquote offend them to know a live lobster was given as a trophy, just because that's how soft the world is.
Yeah.
I know we can't get into that right now, but just soft. And while we're
But I tell you
while we're
what,
talking about
hey, cut some of them bands off of his tweezers and try to pick it up. And let me know how soft it is.
right,
That thing will
I
cut
promise
your
you-
arm off where you know it.
that lobster could defend for itself if he needed
You ain't
to.
lying. If he didn't have them bands on, he'd go. The one thing that's been interesting here, Kilroe has been able to hold on to the lead. Coffee there in second, Casey up in the, you see, Maxim third, Casey in fourth. Both
Trying to
around
check
the top
who-
5.
Trying to see, I think if I'm not mistaken, Kilroe, yes, he won Myrtle Beach earlier this season. Oh, he's won twice. He won Myrtle Beach and then won Nashville Fairgrounds.
Nice.
So
He knows how
he's
to get
got
around
him-
these tracks.
game 2 wins. I don't even remember the Fairgrounds. Oh, I do remember the Fairgrounds race because Raymond led a bunch of laps. Yeah, Jason Raymond led like 75 laps, and Jason Raymond self-spun going to the back of the pack here. You know, that's a tough break. That may open the door for a 3rd or 4th place to sneak in and take that 2nd place away from him in the points, Joe.
We're getting close to lap 120, 125 or so.
Got Thomas Axon up there rolling off P4 this time. I haven't noticed any driver take the outside yet tonight either. Alex Coffey's got a good jump, got a good lead out on Dalton right there, and going to get the jump. I don't know about that one. He had almost
Well,
three
from what
quarters of
we've
his
seen with
car.
penalties all night long, you might as well just give him a warning.
I mean, he had three.
He did, but he did. No, he did give
Three-fourths of
it
a
back to
car.
him there. But he had
Did
a lot
he,
of
though?
car. I
Did
don't
he?
know.
I don't think he did.
Yeah, look.
Look at oh my gosh, Kilroe
It's just
ran
exciting up
Thomas
front. That's
all the
all I
way
know.
down. Kilroe ran Dalton all the way down right there, but
Mm-hmm.
still, Axum, or I said Kilroe ran Dalton. Dalton ran Thomas all the way down to the grass right
But
there.
look at it, man. He's gonna push him into the turn.
He is pushing him in the goal, get him a little bit loose, upset that car a little bit.
Should have
I
did
think
that
they
bump
did.
and run on him. He was there.
But that's a championship contender. I'd be
Oh, Red.
I-
See, all right. Here's where we might differ. I don't
What
care
is
if you're
it?
running for a championship or not. Now, I'm not going to wreck you, but I'm going to race you hard. I'm going to race you like I raced
Right.
all season long. I am
I
not
respect
rolling
that.
over for. I am not. And I hate that. You don't know how many races I have seen, a final race, where a guy will just, oh, go ahead and go on because he's a points leader or something. No. If you want to win that race, win that race. Make him pass you. Don't wreck him. Obviously, don't wreck him. I don't want to see that. But
You know, with that point,
I want him to race
you're
hard.
right. Because if they are the points leader, they're the points leader for a reason. So
That's right. They've done it all
Make him race
season.
you.
Yeah.
right. If you roll over for the points leader every time, then he's just going to remain the points
And
leader.
I have seen it, and man, it really, again, hey, they do what they want to do on the track. I'm just up here calling action, but it really just, it's like I'm sitting there and I see it and I go, man, guys, come on. Don't be scared. Last race, all season long, you raced that guy hard. Now you're going to go to the last race because you're scared maybe you're going to touch him a little bit. Get up there and race hard. Get up there and race him hard. Make him earn it. Make him do what he's done all season long, like you said. Don't just let him go. That's why I wouldn't be mad if Kilroy did the bump and run. I mean, do the textbut bump and run. Like I say, don't send him off into no man's land.
You're right.
But-
they're still
yeah.
racing, I mean,
They're still racing. Yeah.
Yep. As Kilroy gets a little bit loose that time in 1 and 2, Coffey's getting a little bit of a
Good battle. That's
race
fourth
around
place
him
right
now.
there.
Yes. Fourth place. They're trying to sort it out. Aiden Young, we saw him turn earlier. I can't remember if it was a self spin or somebody spun him. I can't remember. But we saw him loop it earlier, whether it was by himself
Back
or
up to sixth.
got in trouble. And yeah, like you just said, back up to 6th place. That shows never give up.
I'll tell you, it has been a good up and down race for a lot of drivers tonight. We've seen some racing we haven't seen all night long. I think a lot of it is coming from this track. Maybe if on next season, think about. We'll just throw it out there.
Milwaukee Mile?
Whoa, well, that one or Dover. And we just saw a huge crash.
When we put the schedule together, we have like 3 people that vote on tracks, right?
Oh, okay.
And I've voted for Dover every season thus far. We did a recruitment race there, and you're wide open the whole time. And a lot of people didn't like it. I thought it was pretty cool.
And it probably would be, the reason being is because there's so much bank in there. It's probably why.
Right,
And
right. You are just wide open. As you see back here on the replay.
Watching this replay here, we saw it there live. A little bit of touch on Evernham. He got sideways. He caught it. Oh, and it looks like Zach had to just check
Oh,
up.
and Chris Carroll got involved in it as
Carroll
well.
nowhere to go.
Oh,
That's
man. Carroll.
he hit the wall hard.
Yeah, that kind of like was weird. It looked like he regained control of the car and then just head onto the outside wall.
That basically was a product of just nowhere to go, short track, kind of everything closing in on him. But yeah, I mean, now that I think about it, Dover would probably be more. I mean, I kind of looking at the mile aspect of it more than anything. That track would probably be. They have enough trouble with the NASCAR side of stuff.
I think it's a little bit longer than a mile. Right?
No, it's a mile.
Or-
Well, it's Dover, Delaware, Monster Mile.
oh yeah, duh, Monster Mile. I was even googling it too. I thought it was like 1.4 or something like that. But yeah, no, you're right. It has to be a
I
mile.
don't know. They just say Monster Miles. All I go.
Yeah, Monster Mile, of course.
But you take it back to what said with Milwaukee.
1 mile
Well,
exactly.
it would probably be a really, really good one. And didn't we race Milwaukee in the Super Lates earlier? I think we did.
No, not yet.
Wilkesboro. We did Wilkesboro.
Wilkesboro.
That's
So, little teaser. The schedule's out for next season.
What about
And-
Gateway? Gateway was a good one.
I think Gateway could be good. It'd be another bigger
South
track.
Boston. Y'all haven't raced it? Have y'all ever raced South Boston?
Not this season. We didn't. So I got the schedule out. You want me to go through it really quick? I think it's
You
gonna be a
can.
pretty
Yeah,
good
we're in the
season.
cost. You might as well. Hey.
All right, we're going to start the season off in 2 to 3 weeks, just depending on how long we take off, Joe. But we're going to start the season off. A big money race, special event, season opener at Iowa, 125 laps. Then we're going to Bristol Motor Speedway, Southern National, and this is where we get a curveball here. We're going to Irwindale, but instead of just doing the inner track or the outer track, we're doing the inner-outer. Turn 1 and 2, you're on the outside of the track. Turn 2, 3, and 4, you go to the inner. Then we're going to Richmond, Lucas Oil, and then check this out. Nashville Fairgrounds mini oval mid-season clash money race 150 laps. That mini oval.
Nice. That'll be cool.
and then we're going to Milwaukee Mile, going to Langley, and then Hickory Speedway, since it's getting added tomorrow, Martinsville, USA International, and then we're going to finish it off double points night at Thompson Motor Speedway, 200 laps.
Cool. Nice.
We're thinking about changing the format. Let me get your temperature on this. So we can either do a 200 lap double points race like we normally do, or Joe, we thought about doing 2 100 lap races with a field invert for the second race. So whoever finishes first is going to start dead last. What do you think? You think that'd be hard to pull off?
I don't see why it would be hard. Definitely make it interesting, but I mean,
we would have to create a separate session. So after one session ended, we would have to create another session and set the grid. Or we could just do a 200 lap race and then add lap 100.
You can do separate grids. That's no problem.
Right.
Podcast going, whatever. That's no. Here.
We'll talk about it off air.
Yeah, that'd be a wild one. So it sounds like it's a good season, good field of track. And I know there's so many
good variety of tracks.
Yeah, there's so many good short tracks out
and we're
here.
trying to go to bigger tracks next season because I'm tired of seeing the one group tracks. Now there's still going to be some of that because it's short track. We got to stick to our roots, but trying to get away from some of the one group tracks and going a little bit bigger as we see Axum get a great jump on that outside.
Yeah, Kelly. I'm like,
was he the leader there, Joe? I wasn't.
I don't think he was. I think Kilroy was. Let's see. We'll watch the restart.
I can't remember if he was the leader or not. I don't think he was. Joe.
Kilroy was the leader.
Okay, yeah, and that's twice now we've seen that outside line get a better jump. Whether they're playing games or what, I don't know. Let's check out this restart. See if it deserved a penalty for a jump.
Well, here's the problem: is you can get the other guy a penalty. You really can't. At this point, it's minute. I mean,
right.
Unfortunately, and I hate to say it that way, which again,
that's what sucks.
Wants to do it.
One person wants to do it.
But
that's what sucks.
That's why I don't get a lot into the penalty stuff. I let them do their job and excitement on the track. And Axiom's done what he's needed to do all night long.
All night.
Stay up front, either lead the race or stay in that top 3. And that's pretty much going to guarantee him the points no matter what, because he's in front of Raymond. And, Raymond, started out strong. He has done, I got to give my hats off to him. He's done what he's needed to do, too. He's been up front. Just the car has not been able to bounce back like he's wanted to so far.
He lost that track position and just isn't able to climb back up the way we've seen Axum do. Alex Coffey has climbed back up, but Jason Raymond right now just not able to get back up there running third and better like he was earlier in the race.
And I will say, as far as one of the most consistent cars week in and week out, Raymond has probably got that.
He does. That's why I talk to him every day, and I told him, I was like, don't get down on yourself because you haven't won. I was like, it took Axum winning 6 times to get away from you in the points. 6 different victories. So I was
like, went on pit road.
Did he?
We're on the replay here and watch. It was a second. Same thing happened to him at Coffee. Lose it and just went down pit road.
Breaking for second. The Hound and the leader right here.
Feeling he might have lost it.
Pushing the leader. He pushed him down the backstretch there. Oh, yep. Starts to step out. Yep.
Probably clipped it right there where it said he went to pit.
Yeah, I have a problem with that.
Wow.
We did a live broadcast at we got a driver going around. I'm not sure who that was. But Martinsville, Joe, was really bad about that. Anytime somebody entered on the low line, it would constantly say they were going to the pits, and that was driving me nuts that night. As we go back on the replay here and see what happened.
I'm not sure. I'm on Evernham. He was involved in it, but I don't think he was the cause. We'll find out what car it was.
I can't think of his name, but it was like a purple car, I do believe. I think it was actually Bogo that. I think it was Bogo. I'm not 100% sure. It'll be this next corner right here. Or no, it'll be right here.
Yeah.
I can't tell. I couldn't tell right then. Somebody got spun. I saw them. They hit.
Logo.
It was him, 21. Who's the 21 car?
Hine. Well, let's ride with him and see what.
Okay. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was this car that gets tapped on the right rear, or left rear, excuse me, and just gets sent around. I do believe. I don't know. Maybe I'm just fishing in the dark, but I could have swore I saw it. The way the camera was positioned, we could see it a little bit.
Yeah, I saw the smoke and all.
Right.
And it don't say a car that crashes or anything. That's the thing. Actually, it's way in
noticed
front.
that.
There it is. Oh, it was Coffee.
Oh, Coffee went around. That's way in front of Hines.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Let's go back now. Let's go back and see. He's
All
racing
right,
hard
folks,
there
that's
with
on
another
me.
one.
I'm sorry. Him and Aiden Young, they've been kind of around each other all night. Coffee had a little bit of an two incidents earlier, and had a real good bounce back, but let's see what happens to that number 7.
Basically, the other cars that were involved in the back, probably just checking up,
You're right, slowing down.
and all that, and just had to hit it. But let's see, maybe a little contact between the two, and what? Your net code.
Neck code. I don't think those drivers were going to touch.
No. But, hey, this is under caution. 19 to go. Axiom's where he wants to be. Yeah, Mark Stafford. Stafford's always good. Stafford's kind of a nameplate for tour mods and stuff.
Yep. We ended the season last season at Stafford. So race control came over, no EOL that time because net code was involved and it looked like they wasn't really going to touch. Normally though, Josh will say, if Josh says net code, he'll normally say it was net code, but those drivers were still going to make contact. I mean, there's some incidents where, although the replay shows they don't touch, they still were going to hit regardless. But Josh said there was daylight between those two drivers.
And that's the thing. Net code is one of those things. I don't really like saying it because then it actually brings about as, yes, we're on a game, but we are on one.
Simulation.
but I like saying ultimately they might have touched because one car's going up, one's going down.
Right.
And, and in real life, you can't take up the same amount of spot at the same time. But it happens on here. Basically, it's the hit marker, hit box, whatever you want to call it, on the server side. If you play any first-person shooter games, you know what I'm talking about.
Call of Duty fans out there in the chat, how many more laps we got, Joe? This thing's starting to wind down.
It's like 17. Oh.
So, folks, in viewerland out there, shout them out. Who's going to pull out this W tonight? Who you think's going to pull out the championship? Right now, I'm going to put all my money on that. I'll put all my money down on pink, meaning on that 13 car, Thomas Acton.
Yeah, he got a good jump out front. Now, I'm going to go on this replay here, and I want to just go out here, and if I'm, Aiden Young on the outside, and I've been seeing what I've been seeing everybody else, I'm doing what they did. I'm gone as soon as the pace car goes in.
Line up. Now, I tell the team, if you're on the outside of the pole, line up a little bit in front of that pole. That way, whenever
I'm going now.
goes,
Everybody else has been jumping in front of the leader. Ain't got a penalty. Why not? I'm jumping in front of him too. And then if I get a penalty, we're gonna have to talk about it after. You know what I mean? Because I'm coming to the hauler or whatever. Man, Young gets turned.
Aiden Young.
Oh, they
Zach
contact. That's a
Murphy.
big one.
That's going to be the second EOL and Zach Murphy there. That will be the
Murphy
second.
just got slightly in the back of him there, and they just got together. Wow. Oh, yeah, just out of the turn, got together, and then it's just nowhere to go. Huge pile up in the back.
It was a big one. I didn't catch the aftermath.
Talladega
Yes,
style.
Yeah.
Took out Zach, Ross, Mac, Brown, Evernham. Got involved in that one.
Cautions breed cautions.
It does. Zach out there smoking. Hill Rose. Second.
So he's worked his way back up. We saw him spin for a second, saved it, lost a few spots, didn't lose much. And don't look now with that 44, Jason Raymond.
Now, let me bring back up to what I was saying again. He saw Thomas jump ahead of him. Did Kilroy do that on this restart?
I'm gonna try to get any advantage I can.
I'm just throwing it out there. I mean, I know folks are not supposed to do it. Okay, that's just first and foremost, they're not supposed to.
I don't think they've jumped it though. I think they're just the one that we saw that was really bad was when
they're not supposed to pass the leader before the line. Is that right?
Before the start-finish line.
Both times they've done that. I mean, so we know that. We've seen that playing in both drivers that did it. No penalties come.
I don't know if it's like, is it like that in NASCAR nowadays? 'Cause I see the outside line beat them to the line.
Well, NASCAR has always been, they have what they call restart zone. And in that restart zone, it doesn't matter. From once that thing goes green in the restart zone, you're able to pass the leader no matter what.
Now here, our restart zone starts. Our restart zone starts whenever all four tires of the pace car are off the racing surface to the green flag. That's basically our quote-unquote restart zone. It's in leader's hand, leader discretion.
I mean, it all depends on how your rule book states. Can you pass the leader before the start finish line? I mean, if it's I don't know how it reads, and again, I don't know that. You tell me, because you do a lot of drivers meetings.
I don't. It's touchy. That's a.
All right, Mark.
That's a.
I know you race. Tell us what they say.
There.
Tell us what they say. Can you pass the leader before the start line? I know changing lanes. You've said that.
That's also correct, Kelly. Leader's not supposed to play games, and I haven't really seen that tonight.
I haven't seen that either. No, every time we've seen that, the leader's not checking up, because it's not like he's not backing up and then the guy outside takes off. He's taking off, but he's. I mean, the leader has the choice of going when he wants to. If he wants to go,
he's earned that right. He's earned that right for being the leader.
And if he wants to go before the green hits, sure. If he wants to go on the green, great. This has been kind of before the green. I would say even before the green flag flies. But again, I don't know. We're speculating.
I think we saw one scenario where it was pretty bad. Where I can't remember who it was. They second place lined up about a half car out on first place, and if he didn't jump it, man, he had some of the best reaction time ever. He went as soon as the leader went.
And there you go. Okay, so Mark, not supposed to unless they spin the tires. Well, I didn't see any spinning tires out there because, you did it to tell that too. Hey, maybe it's last race. Just let everything go. And that's cool too, Last race, let the guys have at it and race. And you need to let them know that. But let them have at it and race and go. Be a little more lenient on what is going to be called in the race. That's cool too. You got to be, now when you do that, and this, Tanner, you got to be fair across the board though. You can't just
don't penalize other drivers.
Yeah, don't penalize other drivers doing it. If you're going to do it that way, you're going to have to be lenient on everybody. We did see a little case earlier with that pit thing. One driver did get an EOL, and then we saw one that's done it twice who has not gotten an EOL. So
he didn't get an EOL for the pit thing. Nobody got an EOL for that.
Oh, didn't get one. Now we see a little game up front as both of those.
That was a
now both of them was trying to go at the same time.
Right. That was a. It looked like they kind of played themselves more than anything.
Yeah, that was kind of like who's going to jump what on that one there. I think really. Now that might have been a case there. They've been out there quite a long time on these tires. Wheel spin would become an issue. If they would have hammered down, they could have spun the tires. So
absolutely.
Another thing on that restart, but Kilroy is definitely going to work over Axiom to try to get around him.
He's trying
We've talked a lot about some hot topics tonight, folks. I know normally I don't talk a lot about stuff like that. I know a lot of drivers can go back and watch and be like, what is wrong with him up there? Look, again, at the end of the day, it's short track racing. It's been a great race. The guys have raced really hard up front. And, the admins do an outstanding job. Do the best that they can out there. We just call what we see on here. And Axiom's done what he needs to do.
Exactly right. You're exactly right. And Dalton's trying to do everything he can do right now. As we've got 9 laps to go on the board. We're about to finish up the 5 Kings Motorsports Cruising Line Tuesday night Tour Modified Series.
Caution.
No, we're not either.
Coffee.
Caution's out on the Speedway.
Oh, Coffee having
Alan Coffee again.
bad night
Man,
tonight.
oh man. That's a tough break for that 7 car.
He getting
man.
nervous. Mom out there watching. Kelly out there watching. That's again same thing as going into the turns and losing it.
I told you setup was loose, but man,
Yeah. What's going on with him in that turn?
it's been a kryptonite right there tonight thus far. And right then he may have been pushing, trying to get every spot he possibly could. I'm not sure where he lined up at right then. We were talking about the restarts. I'm not sure where he actually fired off. But now we're going to have a shootout.
Yes.
Alex Coffey just said I caught the seam a little wrong and it just snapped me.
Oh.
And we've seen it all night. These drivers are not driving down by the yellow line. They don't do it in NASCAR either. NASCAR actually elected to they put the traction compound, PJ1 or whatever, up a little bit higher. But the reason why they did that, because the middle groove here is what's dominant. It's not even really the middle of the track. It's almost like a groove and a half up from the yellow line.
Kelly out there, mom crying now. Yeah, Murphy's not having the best of night tonight. He's or Coffee, excuse me, not having the best of night tonight. He's up and down. He's been up front, in the back, got caught up a few times, spinning it. That's all right. At least he's pushing and trying.
This has been good for him. It's been great because he's been up in the top 4, top 3, but then he loses all that real estate, all that track position whenever a little mistake like that happens. And that's going to be the second EOL on him. So that's a black flag for that driver.
Well, we talk about mental mistakes. We don't see it a lot unless it's in the pit road or whatnot. And they don't really do a lot of pit stuff for the night. But here, it's pretty much how you get into that turn and out of the turn and just keep your concentration on the track.
And with it being such a fast track, you try to keep as much speed and momentum as you can in the corners that you're always on that ragged edge. And as we see right there, that 7 car just slipped past the ragged edge a little bit and was ultimately too far, couldn't save it. Thomas Axum just did the first thing all night. He said 2 to green, I'm taking the top. So Axum's going to change it up a little bit, taking the high side on this restart.
All right. Kilrow, you need to go as soon as that pace car goes in. Are you listening to me, Dalton? Probably not. I know Josh probably in the admin booth. No, shut up. Quit telling him to do that, man.
It's going to be interesting here as we're going to have, I think it's going to be actually a little bit more than a green-white checker, but nonetheless, it's going to be a shootout.
5 laps.
Yeah, it's going to be a shootout. Can Jason Raymond,
5 laps to go.
if the lights go off this time by, and they should. Lights are off on the pace car.
4 to go when they go to
4 laps to go separates. Can Thomas Axel claim win number 7 of the season? Can Dalton Kilrow go for win number 3? As I just heard a motor blow up. Somebody blew a motor in the pack. Or can Jason Raymond? He said he wants that win really bad. He's hungry for that first win. Can Jason Raymond get that 44? Can he position himself to get that win tonight? There's quite a bit of storylines here. And,
let's just say before they go green, if Kilrow jumps up like they've been doing earlier, that actually plays into Raymond's favor because he can follow suit and maybe get alongside Axton for second.
And John Hine up there, 21. I mean,
yeah, John. Man,
the 44 and the 21 are actually, they're not in bad spots. They're in pretty good spots because these leaders right here, they're going to race hard. I don't like the decision to take the high side from Axton.
Yeah, these cars
Just
in.
He hasn't done it all night.
No. Green flag.
Gets a great launch though. He's not going to be side by side with that driver, so that's what he needed. He needed to be clear of that driver going into turn 1, and he did it. Battle's going to be for third on behind him.
Look at John taking it up to third. He's a newcomer to the league. I know John really well over on the dirt side of things. I know the Gambler Motorsports guys do a lot of iRacing in different aspects and disciplines on here. So it's not that he's unfamiliar. I talk about him and Aiden. Right now, does Kilrow have enough to get up to Thomas?
I need a little bit of lady luck and draft help right now, but Thomas is looking like he's on rails. We've seen this all season. We're seeing Jason Raymond look underneath John Hine. They're battling for that final podium spot. That's third place. Might be able to get it cleared right here. John Hine got up into the wall of it. Didn't slow his momentum down. They're side by side going in 3 and 4 with 2 laps to go this time by.
2 to go. We'll try to get that white flag. You see Hine drops off a little bit. Little wiggle there by Raymond. That's actually going to bring Aiden up into the mix. They're going to battle out for 4th and 5th. Looks like Axion's got what he needs. Around good battle for about 4th and 5th place spot.
Yeah, they're fighting for every spot they can right now. Dalton, I don't think, just has the pace to get there to Axiom to even try the bump and run.
Gonna have one more time to get it done as they come out of 4. It's
Last
not
lap.
quite close enough.
Last lap this time by.
Yep, one more time around here tonight. 5 Kings Motorsports Crooked Line Racing Tour Mods. These guys are looking good. Kilrow and Axiom out front. Axiom looking for that championship and win. Kilrow looking for the 2nd place here. He's going to try to dive it on 3 and 4. He's close. One more time. It's going to be a drag race to the line.
It'll be side by side, come to the line.
Oh, he did it. He bumped
Oh,
him.
slight contact.
Are
That's
you
gonna be-
kidding?
Wow.
That was textbook.
Axiom's not
it
gonna
was
like that,
beautiful.
but
He's not
man,
going
oh
to
man, that
like
was
it,
beautiful.
but
That was beautifully done.
it was
Kilrow.
it was beautiful. I mean, I got my hats off to Kilrow. He hit him just enough not to wreck him like we talked about, but to move him out the way to get that win. But here's the thing. Thomas is still going to walk away as a champion here because he finished it in front of Raymond. So, you know, we know that. The real points thing is what 2nd, 3rd is going to be.
After last season, I'm not counting anything for certain because I looked like a dummy up in the booth last season. I was like, yeah, there's no way Zach Murphy didn't get the championship, and ended up losing by like 10 points. It was something like out of this world. I could not believe it. While Josh figures it up, though, we'll go ahead and talk to our 3rd place finisher, Mr. Jason Raymond. We're going to hear where you finished with the point. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
I hear a little bit of disappointed in your voice. Don't be disappointed. It's looking like maybe a 2nd place finish. Talk me through your night tonight. You led quite a bit of laps.
Yeah, you know, I had Dalton behind me in the beginning there, telling me to just kind of run my race and kind of walking me through what I should be doing. And all that. I still burned the tires up a little too much, and Exum got around me, and he just set sail from there past me. I couldn't do anything to catch him.
Man, oh man, it's a tough break. I know Josh, he is calculating up the points right now as we speak, so you can just stick around in the broadcast booth. Just please mute your mic, and then when Josh comes up here, we'll let him know. He'll let you know who the champion is. Congratulations on P3 tonight. You got any sponsors or shout you want to throw out there?
Oh yeah, for sure. First of all, I'd like to thank my parents and you guys for doing the broadcast every week, doing a great job. I got to thank all the guys over at 5 Kings Motorsports. I got to thank the Barn Package Store, Tile Tree, Maconi Setup Shop, thebuttkicker.com, MF Racing Designs, Savage Edge Apparel, FB Sim Racing Button Box, Raise Energy, and BAM Racing Videos.
My oh my, Joe and Jason, we have a laundry list of sponsors over at 5 Kings Motorsports, but man, oh man,
Well,
we love it.
Like I thought here, Thomas is the champ. He took it. I just got confirmation on that one. So, but hey, a valiant effort to get up there to bring it home in 2nd.
You got confirmation, Thomas?
I got
Thomas?
confirmation. Oh yeah.
All right, so we'll bring
Bring up Dalton.
up Mr. Kilrow. Dalton, this is Tanner Martin, OSR booth. You got a copy?
10-4.
Hey, seen a textbook move there at the end. I don't know if you meant to do it or what. You kind of initiate a little bit of contact with Thomas right there. Was that your plan coming into that last lap, or did it just kind of unfold the way it did?
I kind of just unfolded the way it did. I mean, I was gonna go to his inside anyway, and it just started kind of slide up. And I was like, well, it's last lap. I'm not really lifting. Plus, it's Axum. He can take it. Wasn't really gonna try to wreck him like he was whining about in the race chat, but whatever. You know, it's last lap, it's short track racing. Cry all he wants.
So I guess there was a few words exchanged there at the end, huh?
Well, considering he plowed me into the fence in turn 1, then yeah.
Well, I didn't see all that. I was trying to get driver situated and get y'all in here, but still, came away, New Hampshire. You got the race win, and the record books, they don't say how or what happened, transpired to get it. So, kudos to you. You got win number 3 on the season. You got any sponsorship you want to throw out there?
You gotta thank FB Button Box, Daddy-O's Barbershop, BAM Racing Videos, Savage Edge Apparel, Michael Falk Racing Designs, you guys for doing the broadcast. You guys are awesome. And everybody else at Five Kings Motorsports.
Thank you, Mr. Kilrow. Congratulations on the win tonight, buddy. Hope to have you back for next season.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
That was an awesome win, like you said, by Dalton. This guy here, though, he had it all the way up to that last lap, but I tell you what, it was an awesome run, awesome season. Bringing it home in second, but also probably the most important prize is bringing home the championship. Thomas, how's that feel?
Oh, pretty good. I wish we got the dub, but it is what it is. It's there for the championship anyway, so at least you got one of them.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you know, at the beginning of the season, and you came up here to Tanner and you said you were all about the wins. I got to change throughout the season a little bit because obviously you've won a lot, but you've been able to maintain that points lead throughout the most part of the league. And, I mean, coming in here, you started in the back. What was going through your mind at the first part of this race?
I originally wanted to save and was just going to work with Carroll coming through, and I saw he got in some jams coming up, and I took advantage of that and said, instead of saving, I'm going to try and open up the gap between me and him. Murphy was back there. I know he was going to be good here. He's a New England boy. He knows how Loudon goes with modifieds. So there's some big hitters out back, and they got stuck between cars, so I just kept digging and found my way to the front early and saved, and then finally just pulled the trigger one by one and took advantage of my late tires and was able to lead a lot of laps just to the end there. Gave him the bottom. Kind of just thought he was going to just send it in there and like race me for it. Thought we were going to be side by side at the line, but contact. I mean, it wasn't heavy contact. It felt, when in the car, it felt like it was a lot more than what I saw going back. So it's just racing. It's what it is. I wouldn't do that to someone, but can't expect the same. You know, it's just racing.
Hey, come on now, short track. Got to do the bump and run on.
Yeah, he wants a race. He wants a win. It is what it is. It's just racing.
And I brought that up several times. And don't wreck the guy. Short track, bump him a little bit, you know, rubbing out there as always. I mean, it was a good move to get that win. But hey, at the biggest picture, you're coming out here as the champ, second place finish. Hey, you got anybody you want to thank for an awesome way to cap off this Five Kings Motorsports Crooked Line Tour Mod season?
Well, we had a long season, so shout out to Joshua Sexton for taking his time and being our admin all season. Very consistent all season. We had him, I think, like 10 out of 12 weeks. It's pretty amazing for someone who could be out there racing but chooses to be the admin. So shout out to him for that. Shout out to you guys for the broadcast up there. Shout out to you, Joe, for the broadcast, and Tanner for calling it with you. My sponsors, Bernier's Liquors, Studio Sten Designs, and RKM Setup Shop.
There you go. You have at it. That's the champ rolling out of here. Second place here tonight, Thomas Axon. But, Tanner, we've got Joshua up here because he's going to give us a rundown of who came in second, third, and the points here tonight, because I know there were some tight battles between all the way back to maybe fourth place.
They definitely could have shifted, but I'm not sure if he's got it tallied up. Joshua Sexton, this is Tanner Moore in the booth. You got a copy?
Got the calculator burning.
Yeah, I got a copy. I'm having trouble with Dan Lisa, of course, or the Sim Racer Hub is not loading the results in. But what I can tell you is that Thomas Axon won the championship. Jason Raymond finished in second. In third, fourth, and fifth, I'll have to get that to you as soon as I can, as soon as the results come up. But first and second is Axon and Jason Raymond.
We'll definitely,
folks.
We'll talk about that next Monday too. So
yeah, so we won't be able to fill it in this week because Sim Racer Hub is kind of being dumb, but that's okay. We'll make a post on Crooked Line. We'll congratulate the drivers, but shout out to Dalton Kilrow on tonight's win, and big shout out to Thomas Axon. said he was here for dubs, then said he was here for points, and ultimately he came and saw and conquered.
Absolutely. And, as a good shout out, like I say, to the Five Kings guys coming out here sponsoring the Crooked Line Racing all season long for the Tour Mods. It was exciting racing from the short tracks here, and then I'm going to say to a bigger short track that we ended out for a very great race. Good move on Dalton's part to get the win. Sets him up good for going into next season. And then Thomas obviously going to take this momentum of the championship in the next season with him. But don't count out guys like Jason Raymond and all them guys in the back. It's going to be interesting, but for myself and everyone here at Crooked Line, hope you enjoyed it and have a good night.